stay at Stamford Bridge.
3 points should stay at Stamford Bridge as a Chelsea Football Club welcome Brighton and Hove Albion. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace will also be at home against the league leaders. Talking about Liverpool, 3 p.m. Liverpool, they have won all their 5 games, but then they have been, getting all 3 points very late. It's either 80 plus something minutes, 90 plus something minutes. Do you think that Liverpool are really a team that you can be rest assured to say, okay, you are convinced, going by the way they've been getting late wins, that they can defend the title successfully?
Okay, the most important thing is 3 points. Whether they get it late or get it early, 3 points is 3 points. If we decide to end the season today, who will be champion?
Liverpool, of course.
So whether they play badly and secure all 3 points, the most important thing is the goal that you score to earn the 3 points. Because the conversation will now be the champion at the end of the season. But I think Liverpool is still not, they are yet to lift their game to the level where we saw them last season. Don't forget that the side is also having injury worries right now. Their defense line appears to be plagued with injury at the moment, and I am trying to see how Slot will be able to manage the side up till January for the transfer window to bring in more defenders, into the team to beef up the squad. It's a trip away from home, and yes, they can at least pick 1 point from Crystal Palace, if not, all 3 points tomorrow.
All right, the next game we see Leeds United, the newcomers, welcome Bournemouth. Bournemouth, they are not doing bad at all because they are seated 4th on the log, traveling away from home. Do you see them getting all 3 points?
The last time Leeds came to the Premier League, they went back to the Championship same season, and I want to believe they don't want a repeat experience. They want to stay afloat the APL, maybe for another 1 to 3 seasons, as the case may be. So, sure, they must have learned from their mistakes some few seasons ago, and they want to make every game they play at home count this season. Every 1 point and 3 points you get at home is very, very, important. Yes, Bournemouth are sitting comfortably in the 4th position. Leeds United, can also cause an upset tomorrow at home by picking all 3 points. The best Bournemouth will get tomorrow is a draw.
Best for Bournemouth tomorrow is a draw. In another fixture, we'll see Nottingham Forest welcome Sunderland. Nottingham Forest last season, they fought so hard. At some point, some thought that they are going for the jugular against Liverpool because they almost, made it to the UEFA Champions League. But then, at the tail end of the season, they capitulated. Do you see them rediscovering that form we saw of last season?
Some clubs are not really meant for marathon season. Play for 38 matches. You begin to look at the depth, of the squad. Some teams don't start very well, but by match day 10, 11, 12, you see them start picking up. Some teams will start very well. By match day 11, you still see them in the top 3-4 brackets. Match day 15, they will be within the top 4-5 brackets. But by match day 25, 26, 27, you begin to differentiate the men, from the boys. We have the men in the APL, just as we have the men in other leagues across the world. It's always rare to see, the boys, break into the top 2 bracket. If they are fortunate to get to the top, watch out what will happen to that same team the following season. So for me, let's just leave it the way. Let's leave it the way it is.
Let's leave it the way it is. Meanwhile, not leaving it the way it is because Tottenham Hotspur will be at home to welcome Wolverhampton Wanderers 8 p.m. Tottenham Hotspur, under their new manager, Thomas Frank, has been doing some great stuff out there. They are seated third on the log right now. Wolves, they are rock bottom.
3 points. 3 points for Spurs.
Really?
Yeah, 3 points for Spurs.
Well, Wolves are seated bottom. Don't you think that that could be extra motivation for them?
3 points for 3 points for Spurs. Spurs is one team that I would like to see, do very well this season. Recall last season, while they were doing pretty well in Europe, they were struggling, in the EPL, and they managed to escape at the drop.
Yeah.
And so they don't want to go beneath where they are, right now. If they are pretty consistent at home all through the season and pick valuable points away from home, they will certainly going to have a respectable finish at the end of the day. Wolves have been struggling of late, in the last 4 seasons. I recall there was a particular season where they were just getting points at very unlikely,
against some big
venues. Yes,
teams.
Getting points, but it's been difficult for them to achieve that. If you want to be very consistent, then be consistent against the big teams, and then not when you falter against the big teams, even the ones that are your level, you will still struggle to grind out results. So for me, there is just no way that Spurs will not pick, all 3 points against Wolves.
All right, moving on to the La Liga, there are some fixtures that will go down this weekend as well. Getafe also welcome Levante. But the big one tomorrow is Atletico Madrid welcome Real Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano. This is a Madrid derby, always a very difficult call to make. But it looks as though this season, Atletico Madrid, with their coach, Diego Simeone, have not been able to, of course, start up on a very impressive note. But whenever it comes again, they come up against Real Madrid, it is always a very difficult, cracker for Madrid. But Madrid, under their new coach, Xavi Alonso, they've started off the season on a fine footing, winning all their 5 games so far. Do you see Madrid getting a point or all 3 points away from home?
Madrid should get a point, of Atletico Madrid. Atletico have not really played up to expectations this season. Yes, just like you said, matches between Atletico and Real Madrid is always, a cracker. Diego Simeone, the manager of Atletico Madrid, can afford to lose to Barcelona, can afford to lose to Valencia, can afford to lose to Athletic Bilbao, but not to Real Madrid, at home. So that is what makes the Madrid derby, very, very exciting, very interesting. And you see the players, running from one end of the field to the other end of the field. If Atletico Madrid is not physical against, other 18 club sides in the La Liga, when it comes to Real Madrid, you see them bring the physical aspect of their game, right into the field of play. So I expect a very tough game between both sides, and the side that will score first should pick up 3 points.
All right, we'll see who is going to score first in that very one, whether it is Atletico Madrid. But one thing is certain, that whenever Atletico Madrid get to, open the floodgate of goals, they'll just go back and lock up the defense. So maybe if they get to score first, just like you predicted, Madrid is going to lose the game. But what do we know? We'll get to see how it pans out tomorrow. Meanwhile, Real Mallorca will be at home to also welcome Alaves. Villarreal with 3 tackles against Atletico Bilbao, in that very order. Let's head straight to the Bundesliga and give you some of the fixtures, because Augsburg will be at home against, Metz, while St. Pauli welcome Bayern Leverkusen. Wolfsburg as well will play host to RB Leipzig. Mönchengladbach will also welcome Eintracht Frankfurt. In the Italian Serie A, Six Fabregas Como will be at home against Cremonese, while Juventus, the old ladies, welcome Atalanta. Atalanta, Lukman Ademola is back with a squad. He made a cameo appearance last time out, and the coach was saying that he understands the position of Lukman Ademola, but then he stated that he needs to give his 100% to the team. Quoting that coach in their last game, that Ademola Lukman was ill-advised by people surrounding him. That is why he wanted to, of course, make his way out. Do you think that the return of Ademola Lukman is going to add more firepower to the Bergamo-based club?
I might not want to agree with the coach that Ademola Lukman was ill-advised by people around him. Ademola was already feeling not wanted, at the club because of utterances by, I'm sure, the former manager of the side. Yeah. And yes, with the new manager now, he needed, to have the backing of the new coach. And I want to believe that their poor run of form must have contributed to a conversation between the coach and Ademola, and not even with the president or the top brass, of the club. Somebody needed to sit down with Ademola and talk to him. How much I need you in this team. You are part of this project. You are one of the pillars of this project. And you know what? When a player wants to leave, or a player has made up his mind to leave, you need something beyond, the ordinary to convince that player to stay back and give his all, for the team. For Ademola to have gone back to Italy and to have a cameo appearance in the very last game, it does mean that, yes, maybe he has made up his mind to play, because as somebody, I spoke to him like a father, like a friend, and like a boss.
All right, in the Milan derby, Inter Milan will also play AC Milan in that very big one. These fixtures usually, used to be a very big clash then. I don't know about now. Look as though the quality, in both sides had watered down. But in the French League One, we have some matches as well. This weekend, as Lorient will play host to Monaco. Toulouse will be hoping not to lose against Nantes, while Paris Saint-Germain will play host to Auxerre. And on that note, we tell you that Tobilola Mosun is our sport extraordinaire for today's edition of the show, because she becomes the first Nigerian athlete to make it to the top. To make it to to become a third-ranked athlete in the world. Of course, she achieved this with her impressive outing at the just concluded World Athletic Championship. Mr. Pitcher, it's been a pleasure, doing this with you. Anytime I see you around, I'm always excited. 1 hour is not always, enough for us to exhaust, the topic. But then, I want to thank you so much for finding our time to join us this evening.
It's always been a pleasure, and I'm still waiting for the dollaring for Tobi Amusan. She's number 3, like you said, and she's the first and only Nigerian athlete to have won a medal at the World Athletics Championship back-to-back, 2 editions, gold in the last edition, and now silver. So what is Mr. President waiting for? What is the National Sports Commission waiting for? They have all gone to sleep because it is not football.
What are they waiting for is a question that we need to answer. Maybe in the few days to come, Mr. President, or even the National Sports Commission, or the Athletic Federation of Nigeria will definitely provide a suitable answer to that question. But at this point, I did a show with Mr. Peter Abaje, a veteran sports journalist, one who thoroughly understands the business of talking sports on the show this evening. My name is Emmanuel Michael, the Prime Minister of the Airwaves, and we are saying have a very beautiful evening.